Hey, what's up everyone? Juan Dhas here, and today I'm back with a lesson on pentatonics, or rather, how to start looking at pentatonics in a different way and kind of getting out of maybe some ruts you might be stuck in. So, I just want to dive right into the lesson here. So, when I start looking at creating pentatonic lines, or whether I'm improvising lines in the pentatonic scale or any other scale, what I try and do is look at it from two angles. I look at the harmonic implication, or rather how the line is going to sound in the context of the chord. And then the other part is the organizational aspect, or looking at how it fits on the guitar, right? One thing I do want to stress, and it's kind of important, it's that the guitar in and of itself is a very visual instrument, so I try use that to my advantage and use that to create some shapes or some ideas that might not be conventional. I think guitar players really have that advantage. That's not to say don't be ignorant of the harmony, and try really get into understanding what you're trying to play and how it fits in the greater context of a chord, but do use shapes. So I want to just really focus on the organizational aspect, because I kind of cover the harmonic aspect a fair bit when I talk about lines in general. But as far as pentatonics, I'm not really strictly a concept, like a strict concept player, in the sense, okay, I don't specifically play 2-1-2. I don't specifically play 3-1-3. Nor am I really using just cells. It's kind of a mix-up of all of the above. I think works best for my playing. So for those who are unfamiliar, the 2-1-2 or 3-1-3 concept is basically where you take two notes on one string, one on the next, and two on the string after that. You can do that with three notes. That's what I tend to do more often, just because it fits better for my hands, and it feels better under the fingers. But for example, I can take this. So here I've got three notes, one note, three notes, one note again, and three notes again on my high E string. So, and that gets a really nice open sound. And bear in mind, a lot of these lines are going to be kind of wider intervallic lines. You can go ascending, descending, and it'll give you a nice bubbly effect, especially with 3-1-3 stuff. And if you, let's say, stay in kind of one range or one position, it's a really nice bubbly kind of sound. Right? You can do the same thing with 2-1-2s. And you can use that as a nice way to set up a line. Or you can start mixing the two together. This is kind of what I do a fair bit. I'll have three notes on one string, let's say, then one on the next, then two, then one, and then maybe three. So 3, 1, 2, 1. And that kind of breaks up the phrasing a little bit. Now, what I was talking about with the visual aspect, you see here, I see that, but I also see this shape here. So, right? you kind of get the full pentatonic here, which is kind of nice. If I want an even more wider sound, maybe I'll omit a note or two. Right? Or, see? So you start getting different sounds, if you would. One thing I'll also try to do is maybe do one note per string. So let's say I've got this structure. This works great for getting fifths or fourths into your lines and can really open that wide interval sound. So here I've got, right? Or let's say with, so there I did one note per string, then 2, 1, 2, right? And see, that's a little easier to work with if stretches aren't your thing. Although I would say a good alternate for, let's say, wider interval stretches might be to tap them. You'll find you'll get a very different timbral quality when you try it, and hey, it might be a cool sound you want to try. So that's another option. So we've covered 2, 1, 2s, 3, 1, 3s, a mixture of the two, or even just one note per string. Maybe another pentatonic-y thing I would do is like that. If I want to really cover some ground, and this lends itself to feeling and sounding a little more like an arpeggio than it would, or like a structure that has some sort of order to it, rather than just a combination of notes. One thing you can also try and do is play around with small harmonic cells, or small little, not harmonic cells, melodic cells. Play around with little small melodic ideas, 3 or 4 note cells, maybe even 5, and start moving that in octaves. Or, right? We can try maybe this. Actually, how about getting a 4th in there? Right. And you see, if I stick to the thing or the cell, and strictly decide to play that pattern, I can then descend and create a little more contour to my lines. Right? So I hope this lesson's really helpful for you guys. It's just a brief overview of how I look at pentatonics, or how I go about maybe generating some ideas that are a little different from the norm. Do give a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed this lesson and you want to see more. I'm going to be doing weekly videos every Thursday, give or take, just uploading a new lesson, and throughout the week maybe upload some other performance stuff that I'm working on or might be cool for you guys. So hope this was helpful, and see you in the next video.